What's up guys, and welcome back to the Ellis Devro channel, and today what I'm going to be giving you is my top 10 wide receivers in the NFL right now, hence the Davante Adams shirt. Before we get on with the video, make sure to leave a comment down below of what you think of my list, if you agree, disagree, and tell me where you would have put certain players. So now let's get into the video. So starting with the number 10 spot, I'm putting OBJ right there. Now, last year he probably would have been in my top 5, but he's had a massive decline this year. Some people may say it could be because of his quarterback and the bad coaching on the team, but still, I see that there's no excuse for when you had great numbers for the past seasons in your career, and then you've had such a decline here. I don't think it's great. I don't think you can blame the quarterback, because the quarterback last year was doing really well and having good stats. Don't think you can blame, well, you can kind of blame it on the coaching maybe, but needs to see an improvement next year to get it back up. But I think I can only put him at 10 for this year right now. And now for number 9, I'm going to go with Kenny Golladay. Some of you may see this as a shock, but I don't think this is a shock at all. I think Kenny Golladay is a great wide receiver for the Lions. I've seen him play twice this year against the Packers. He's been great both times. I've seen him play many times. He's fast, he's big, 6'4", I think. He gets up to the ball, he snatches out of the air each time it gets thrown to him. I think he's a really good player and he deserves this number 9 spot. I think there's a bit of a gap though between the top 6 say, and the 7 to 10, but I still think Kenny Golladay is a great receiver and deserves to be in that number 9 spot. And at number 8, I'm putting Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin there. I think he's a great receiver, had a breakout season this year with 1,300 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. Great compliment to Mike Evans, and getting 9 touchdowns and 1,300 receiving yards is really good. And he had Jameis Winston as his quarterback, who threw 30 picks last year. Now with Tom Brady joining the Buccaneers, I think it's going to be a very scary offense with those 2 receivers and him at the helm. It's going to be a very good year for the Buccaneers, I think, and they're going to go playoffs and maybe all the way. Now at number 7, I've put Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys at this spot. I believe that he's a great receiver. Leaving the Raiders was probably the best thing for him. Joining the Cowboys, and well, that was a couple of years ago now, but he's been a great receiver ever since. Don't think he's worth the money that he has paid, but he was going to get that deal kind of anyway because prices are going up. But I think he's a good receiver. If you're the number 1 receiver in the statistically number 1 offense in the NFL, you deserve to be on this list. Yes, yeah, they had Zeke, so this is why I've only put him at 7, and Michael Gallup's been really good. So I think Amari Cooper is a solid number 7. Now, moving on to number 6, where I think we take a big leap in talent, is another Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver, Mike Evans, who had a great year last year, over 1,000 receiving yards again. Jameis Winston's go-to guy, a great receiver, does really well with Chris Godwin, and will be a great compliment for Tom Brady. As I said, I think their offense will be in at least the top 10 offense in the season next year. Moving on to number 5, which is Tyreke Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. Some people may not put him as high as this. I think he is top 5 best receiver in the league, obviously. I think his speed is one of the best in the NFL. His catching, his route running is just all really good. I think the Chiefs missed him in the first 3 or 4 games that they had without him, and he was a big loss for them, and that's why they may struggled in those couple of games a bit. And then that catch in the Super Bowl, not the catch really, but the big play in the Super Bowl, 3rd and 15, Tyreke Hill runs his route, gets the ball, and that is probably the play that won the Super Bowl, which was Mahomes and Hill both together. So I think Tyreke Hill, undoubtedly is top 5 receiver, and he'll be scary next year. He'll be at his best next year. I'm calling it now. Now, moving on to number 4, my favourite receiver in the NFL. You can see by the jersey here, it is Davante Adams. This guy's route running is the best in the NFL. His release is beautiful. He's been one of Aaron Rodgers' best targets since, well, Jordy Nelson. I think he's better than Jordy Nelson, actually, from what I've seen and stuff, and from what I know. I just think he's one of the greatest receivers that the Packers have had in a while. I'm really confident for the next couple of years. I think he's really good. He was a big miss to the Packers when he got injured. I think he's just a great receiver. Going into our top 3, at number 3 is Julio Jones. I think this guy a couple of years ago would have been been number 1. He's still in that kind of realm. He was in the 2011 draft, so he's been in the league for about 9 years, and he hasn't stopped a beat. He's literally one of the greatest receivers to ever do it. He's so tall and so quick. His agility is great. He just won't stop dominating the field. And he may have had a little decline this year, but he's still one of the greatest to ever do it. Now, moving on to number 2. I've mentioned him in a previous video before. Just got traded. It is DeAndre Hopkins of the recently Arizona Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best route runners in the game, up there with Davante Adams. Will go and catch any ball that you throw at him. He's just unbelievable. One of the best receivers I've ever seen live. I saw him live once and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw him play. He was unbelievable, some of the catches that he made. Just one of the great receivers in this league, and probably keep it up for a couple of years to come. And now, for who I think the best receiver in the NFL right now, at number 1, I'm putting Michael Thomas right there. The only receiver to have 2,000 receiving yards. The only real good receiver on the Saints before they got Emmanuel Sanders. He was the staple of their offense, basically. Just a great receiver. Probably part of the best quarterback, running back, receiver trio. Kamara, Breeze and him. He is an unbelievable player. Route running is immaculate. His hands are so good. You just can't guard him. Like, you try and guard him and he just goes away from you so quick. Finds getting open space so easily. And that's why he is the top receiver in the league today. And that now arrives to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you think of my list and how you would change it. Other than that, see ya.